So in strict sense, the point is to prevent from attachment. That's all. Sometimes some lady or some people they may not know much about Buddhism. They just met Professor Angela on the hallway, and after we spoke, she said my hand. That's okay. It's up to you. You understand that? I think it just depends upon your state of mind. And of course, if you visit like Thailand or Burma, this is the conservative countries, conservative Buddhist country. Yes, whenever the woman want to hand anything to the monk, they need to put the cloth and put these items on the tray to the monk. Yeah, this is in stress, but of course, so you have to know yourself. Yeah. Anyway, so unless you want to become monks and nun and talk more on us. Okay. Oh, sorry. This is out. Okay. So number 7, Kevin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you have, Kevin?
I did the notable scientists and
Yes.
comments on Buddhism. I found several of them. I included 2 in my paper. And one was from Niels Bohr, who created the Bohr model of the atom. It said, for a parallel to the lessons of atomic theory, we must turn to the kinds of epistemological problems with which already thinkers like Buddha and Lao Tzu have confronted, to harmonize our positions as spectators and actors in the great drama of existence. And Albert Einstein, who said, I will call it the cosmic religious sense. This is hard to make clear to those who do not experience it, since it does not involve an atomical idea of God. The individuals feel the vanity of human desires and aims, and the nobility and marvelous order in which revealed in nature in the world of thought. He feels the individual destiny of imprisonment and seeks to experience the totality of existence in unity full of significance. Indication of this cosmic religious sense can be found even on earlier levels of development, such as the Psalms of David and the prophets. The cosmic elements are much stronger in Buddhism, in particular the Schopenhauer's magnificent essays have shown us.
Okay, so we have here everything for you, but can you summarize what they say about this?
Basically, it compares how scientists now, more of a modern thought, compares to the old thoughts of Buddhism at viewing all the cosmic mysteries and the questions that have plagued existence.
Yeah, like you mentioned recently, right? Buddhism and evolution, right? The universe contrasts and expands, is that right? Right? Yeah. So, and we talk about this 8 billion Earth planet like out there. And in Buddhism, I don't know whether I told you that. In one of many, not one, many Mahayana Buddhist sutra, they say that on the tip of your hair there is a galaxy of planets. Can you believe that?
It made a lot of allusions to that.
Yeah? Can you believe that?
But is there proof?
Yeah, can you believe that? No?
Anything's possible.
Actually, if we live back 100 or 200 years ago, it's not easy for us to believe. Is that right?
Yes.
But now we can recognize. You have the SD chip, and you have the jump drive, and they have up to gigabytes, right? Gigabyte, right?
Yeah.
And what happened? It can contain the whole libraries. Is that right? And that's what the Buddha said 1,000 years, more than 2,500 years before. That's why more scientists recognize this compatible with Buddha teaching and nowadays modern science. Yes?
What did he say 2,500 years ago? What did he
Yeah, I
say?
just told you. In many Buddhist sutra or teachings, the Buddha mentioned that on the tip of your hair there is a galaxy of planets. Make sense now? If we look in the micro, what you call micro way, right? You can see. You have asthma, you have allergy. Last week I went to see a doctor who checked about my allergy, not asthma, and he showed me what you call the mice. What you call mice? Not the big mice, but
Mites? Dust mites?
dust mite. Yeah, because somehow my throat was so dry, and they will wake up. And he said that I may have that kind of dust mite that got into my throat. And of course, when we use the microscope or some kind of special what we call cameras, right, to capture, we could see that dust mite. Otherwise, we cannot see with our flesh eyes. You see that? You understand that? Now that we have that kind of equipment, technology to see them. In the past, there's no way. You see that? And even, let me tell you one thing. For the monks and nuns, there's a rules that before we drink the water, actually for the monks and nuns, before they taken the monk precept before they are ordained, so they given the water filter. What's common sense, right? Water filter to filter out the water. Otherwise, you consume the bacteria and be sick. And in a sense, you're sick and you kill that type of bacteria too. Right? And so the Buddha say that in a cup of water, there's 80,000 bacteria, 84,000 bacteria. Of course, back then they didn't know what the Buddha talked about. But now we can use microscope to see. You understand that? So, again, whenever you have the wisdom, you see everything. You see through everything.
Yeah, light.
Yeah, okay. So, let's just move on. What happened? Okay, number 8. What do you have there?
The Buddhist Geeks, it is actually a business, and they started with podcasts and moved on to an online magazine, and then they have a annual conference every year.
Yes.
It was invented by Ryan Olk and Vince Horn in 2006, and they believed that there wasn't enough ways for Westerns to receive information about Buddhism.
I just fell down, man.
I was trying to, I have,
2:30, and I was trying to sneak out while she was walking, but that caught my foot.
Okay. All right, see you then.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. And it's on camera too. Was it at me at the time? No? All right, thank
All right,
you.
okay.
Oh,
So do you have...
watch that desk.
Yeah, do you have...
This place is a death trap, people.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, you see this one, right? Yeah. So, remember I told you a story when they stopped by at Chicago airport? Remember I told you? And they thought that I came out from forest, right? Out forest or mountain, right? They thought that I don't know how to use that talk, right? And so again, this is a useful way for us to communicate with each other to learn the Dharma. It's common.
They said they try to make connections between Buddhism and modern society.
Remember, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with laptop, nothing wrong with internet, nothing wrong with TV and so forth. The other thing is do you have proper mind to do that? Proper mind to make use of them. Yes, that's all. Nothing wrong with food, right? Nothing wrong with clothes, with cars, whether you are attached or not, that counts. You suffer because of that type of attachment. If you know how to use them as a tools, that's fine. That's more useful. Right? So next one, number 9, please.
I did number 9.
Oh, you do. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I mostly talked about how digital files and like USBs and CD-ROMs spread scriptures around, the scriptures, and how the internet's connecting Buddhist communities and teachers to students. And there's like live web chatting between teachers and students, and like live streaming video of meditations and different things like that people learn about.
You know, nowadays convenience. Some, I have 4 centers in Indiana, Louisville, St. Louis, and New Jersey. So, well, it's cost to travel around. So, most every week, I have Skype to talk to them directly. That's usefulness of technology. Why don't we use it, right? And of course, we have, I don't know whether you know, we call Part Talk. I don't know whether you guys know this one. This is the audio conference. They developed this since 2000, and this is now million people use this one. Of course, now it's popular, right? Skype, Yahoo Messenger, right? And what else? Some kind of video conference we can use. So it's up to our mind. If we have proper mind, if we have right mind, we can help all people by using this type of technology. Otherwise, it'd be harmful. If you spend time on the internet to shut out the wrong place, that's your choice. Make sense? Like terrorists, right? They look at this information how to build the bomb. That's their choice. That's they harm themselves. But for us, if we know, it's like you go to a supermarket, you have to know what type of items, what type of things you want to buy, what to pick up. That's the tool. Okay, so if you don't, yes. Yeah, you do Sangha-II, right? Which number you do?
Oh yeah, I didn't remember that.
Yeah, what do you find there?
I found this neat little group in Tibet. These Tibetan monks started putting all of their texts online and stuff, which really helped out the West, but there's some areas in the East that didn't like it, because they thought that modern technology would corrupt the teachings of Buddhism. But really, if it becomes corrupt, that's people corrupting it, not technology itself. So.
Depends on how you use them. And of course, like Facebook, this is what called social media online, right? Online social media, there's good in there, and all the junk there too. That's your choice. Of course, sometimes I have to be careful. I pause my the Buddha teachings, some Buddhist story on Facebook, but probably eventually I will put on my website. Yeah, who knows? They may hack your email, they may hack your password, or they may modify your Facebook and they may claim that you made that kind of job, right? And sometimes I got the email. You have to be careful to click the email, right? Especially the strange one. And sometimes I got the email that someone say, I'm in Philippines now. I got lost I lost my wallet. So please send me any money to help me out. You got that? You got that, right? And sometimes some of my friends say, what happened to you? I got your email. That you lost the money? I'm sorry, so no. You see, that's now a lot of scam around the internet. It's two sides. Two sides, of course. The good side we can use if we use in the proper way, and that side that people scam around, people harm each other, right? So get choice, and you have to be careful. So, okay. Number 10. Buddhism and politics. What do you think? No one knows number 10. As in, do you think Buddhism need to involve with politics? What do you think?
Buddhism's already really heavily involved in politics.
What is that?
Buddhism's already involved in politics.
Why?
Aung San Suu Kyi. She's a Buddhist activist in Myanmar. She's avowedly democratic. She's been against the military rule there since at least, I know she's been on house arrest since at least the 90s, early 90s. But, she's considered not just a democratic leader, she's considered considered a great Buddhist as well. So especially in Eastern countries, Buddhism is really tied into a lot of
It's bad. I think we discussed last time, right? It's better to separate state and church, right? Much better. And Buddhist view, especially for the monks now, the Buddha advised us to stay out, right? When we involve in politics, we involve with power. When we involve with power, what happened? Corruption. And you lost your way. For me, again, if I want to be politician, I better not become a monk. You have the choice. Is that right? When you are in that profession, you need to focus on that profession instead of across global different fields. But of course, there's some relationship between Buddhism and politics too. But in general, for monks and nuns, it's better to stay out. Of course, with lay people, that's okay. Like, what's her name?
Aung San Suu Kyi.
There's many lay people involved in politics because they live in the world, in the secular life. That's okay. But again, we need to be careful in Buddhist view about politics. Because when you involve in politics, let's say if you are Democrat, right, and you may not like someone in the other side, Republican, right? This means you define yourself. You divide people in this kind of duality, right? Like this, like enemy and friends, and that's not. This is the enemy and friend here too. You have to accept everyone. You have to go beyond. Otherwise, you always create problems. That's the big difference. That's the main difference between Buddhism and communism. Communism, yes.
But the Dalai Lama, he's not a political leader. He's a spiritual leader. But he galvanizes people politically, even though he's not intending to. Like, there's a lot of politics around the Dalai Lama, even though he's not a politician, right? Like, if he comes to the United States, that's a big deal for politicians to shake his hand, because it makes him look good, because he's a peacemaker, right? And like China, people are after him, and it's all politically motivated, but he's not a politician.
No.
So it's like Buddhism and politics are intertwined with him, even though he's not a politician.
This is interdependent. That is the 10-point your second mind. Right? Okay. So the next one, number 11, Buddhism and other religion. No one knows this. What do you think? In our view, again, we don't go against any traditions. Like I say, we have more than 6 billion people, right? And now we may need 6 billion religion. You understand that? That means any one of us has different potential, have different needs for our life. Look around. Even only this class, and one of you wear the same clothes, the same hand, quite different. Male, female, young, old, right? Everyone of us has different view of life. So we cannot enforce other people to follow the ways that we want them to follow. We have to respect their rights. That's Buddhist view. And then I told you many times, right? We respect Jesus Christ and all the religious founders as a Bodhisattva because they sacrifice their life for all the people. So that's view. Yes.
There's a difference between the 5 precepts and the 10 commandments in Christianity.
Yeah. The first one, you have to believe in God, right? But remember, in Buddhism, that's different. In the faith, I forgot to mention to you when we talk about that too. The Buddha mentioned that you have to have the faith. 3 kinds of faiths you need to have. The first one, not the faith with Buddha, but the first one, you have to have the faith with what? The clothes and the pet. This is the universal law. Is that right? Universal law. You plant the seed, good seed, you have the good food. You harm other people, eventually you harm yourself. That's the first faith. That's the first condition you need to have. And the next one is You need to believe, yes, if you're Buddhist, you need to believe in Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. That's the second step. And the third step is, you need to believe in you. You have to trust yourself. You have to have confidence. You have to have self-confidence. What happens if you don't have confidence to come to class? What happens if you don't have confidence to drive the car? You understand that? What happens if you don't have confidence to write your essay? You get lost. So that's the three important conditions that you may have. So that's the first one. That's different, right? So that's why Buddha said that you need to have the investigation and test out before you believe by following this path. Okay? Alright, so Joey, number 12, what do you have?
A self-Buddhist feels a spiritual focused person is supposed to seek this more peacefully than others.
Which one? That you do number 12, right? Or which one do you do? Which number you do? Oh, 12. Buddhism as healthcare? Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Is it over?
Sorry, yes, sorry.
Okay. Some Buddhists feel that a spiritual focused person can respond to sickness more peacefully than others. Therefore, when illness does occur, it's believed that spiritual balance can help them through it. And many Buddhists care for their bodies by eating a balanced diet.
Yes, go ahead, yeah.
They're not supposed to eat only one type of food or too much or too little. They have to eat balanced to take care of their bodies. That's what I have.
Yes, and what do you find then? Sorry, yeah, what do you find? What's the relationship between Buddhism and healthcare?
I'm not sure.
Not sure? Oh, really? It's so opposite. Remember we talked about the Four Noble Truths, remember? Truth suffering. Physical suffering, right? We're born, we're getting older, right? We have some kind of illness and we pass away. No one wants to be sick, right? No one wants to end their life, right? But it's come. This is the process of life. We have to accept. And mentally, stress, anxiety, depression, that's related to healthcare. That's why they have the hospital for. When we're sick, we visit doctor physically, right? When we have some problem with our mind, we see psychologist and so forth. That's right there. That's the reason why, I talk with many doctors and nurses. You nurse, right?
It's a nurse's assistant.
Oh, okay. LRN or
No, not an LPN. That's a nurse too.
yeah. Anyway, did you work in the hospital beside her? Okay. So anyway, when you deal with the patient, do you need to have patience? Yeah. Because you understand their suffering. When they have physical suffering, what happens? They are more irritated than other people, right? You have to have the compassion and kindness to deal with them. And what happens when they stress out too much? Even you're not nurse or doctor, what happens when your spouse, your brother, sister, your whoever, your relatives, or even your friends, when they stress out too much, what happens? If you want to help them out, the first thing you tell them, calm your mind down. Is that right? And of course, Buddhists provide a path, a technique to calm the mind, meditation. That's one session with healthcare. Right?
There's also something in the book about how a lot of monks and nuns will practice medicine.
Yeah.
Is this a naturalist medicine?
Yeah, this is a lot. We don't have much time now. We go. Okay.